This week I'm on a bit of a trip. I'm visiting my parents and I just arrived to the historic Chicago Union Station. While I love New York City, Chicago will still always be a home for me. Today I'll be exploring what is, in my opinion, one of the very best neighborhoods in Chicago. It's also one of the most expensive. I'm talking about the West Loop. Out of all the neighborhoods in the city, this one has probably experienced the most change within the last decade or so. Every time I visit the West Loop, there's always something new there, and I can't wait to see what today will bring. But first things first, I gotta get my coffee. I'm gonna try out a new place called Good Ambler. It seems to have very good reviews, seems to be a pretty big place, and it seems to have some nice looking pastries. So without any further delay, it's coffee time. Made it here to Good Ambler. This place is huge. There is so much space. I'm really liking the atmosphere here. I of course got coffee. Pretty solid. And to eat a croissant, all the pastries up there look so good, but I just want something simple today. I plan to eat a lot and this should fit the bill. This is a good croissant. Nice, flaky, super buttery. This is a good breakfast. While I'm enjoying my coffee, I'm of course going to do a little reading. The book of the week is A Gentleman in Moscow. I'm more than halfway through this. I'm really enjoying it so far. It is a good book. It lives up to the hype. The characters in this story, really pleasant. Yeah, and I just love the descriptions of the food, the hotel, the class. This is a really good book so far. That was such a good coffee shop. I mean, just the vast amount of space in the establishment just creates a really great vibe. And that croissant, oh, that was so good. That is not a throwaway pastry by any means. That was a legit amazing croissant. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. It was so good. But now I'm gonna do a little shopping. There's a lot more to the West Loop than fancy restaurants and expensive apartment buildings. A lot of notable companies have offices here. There's the world's headquarters of McDonald's and Boeing. The unique thing about the Boeing World Headquarters is that they have a store. Now, I love travel, but I've never been that into the journey itself, the means of transportation. It's always been about the destination. But in the last half year, I've just become so much more interested in aviation. I've been watching a ton of YouTube videos where people document their experiences in different airlines, showcasing first class, business class, and whatnot. Basically, I just developed a whole new appreciation for air travel in general. And that's why I'm here. I'm gonna check out the Boeing Store. So that was a unique store. It's definitely worth a gander if you're a fan of aviation. I didn't buy anything. Gotta save money. But if I did, I would buy one of those models of the airplanes. It looks so cool. I do believe on the Boeing Store's website that you can purchase those models with the actual livery of the airline of one's choice. I really want to buy an American Airlines 767. I'm not sure the variant, but that is because that is the plane that most likely took me to Rome. When I studied abroad in Italy, it changed my life forever. It brought me the love of travel. I grew so much as a person there. So that's why I would love to have a little model of the plane to serve as a reminder of such a significant point in my existence. Anyways, those are future goals. My current goal is lunch. I'm heading to a restaurant I've never been to before. It's called Gaijin, and they specialize in Okonomiyaki. Gaijin comes from Chef Paul Varant. The establishment focuses on Okonomiyaki, which is a savory Japanese pancake. Both Hiroshima and Osaka styles of the dish are offered. I just ordered. I got like the Gaijin tasting experience. It's 4 courses, $40. Seems like a good deal.
first course to arrive were the boneless short ribs with smoked shoyu, scallions, and furikake rice.
Great start to the meal so far. The boneless short ribs, really nice, tender, good sweetness to it.
While I was still eating the short ribs, the kombu marinated vegetables arrived. It consisted of celery, fermented green beans, radishes, and sesame seeds.
Really like the vegetables. It's a good contrast with the fermented flavors to the sweetness of the short rib.
Next, I was presented with the main course, the smoked whitefish Osaka-style Okonomiyaki.
Oh, that looks so pretty.
This was definitely a fine example of okonomiyaki, and I particularly enjoyed the whitefish, which was generously portioned in the pancake. Okonomiyaki is not usually thought of as fancy food, although mine looked very nice. It's good, hearty food nonetheless.
That okonomiyaki was so good. I mean, it's seriously the ultimate comfort food.
For dessert, I had the strawberry mochi donut holes, which are good. The texture is on point and the strawberry flavor was pleasant, but I was hoping for something a little more substantial. Basically, this dessert lasted for just a few bites. The regular mochi donuts on the a la carte menu are much larger and only cost $5. I wouldn't recommend the Gaijin tasting experience, only for the fact that there's not much value to it.
That was a delicious and satisfying lunch. All the food I had was really good, but I think next time I just go straight a la carte, get the okonomiyaki, because that really was the star of the show. Overall, I think Gaijin is a really good restaurant. It's really nice to see a Japanese establishment serving more than just sushi or ramen, because there are plenty of those kinds of restaurants in Chicago, and okonomiyaki is unfortunately just not as common in this city. So that's why Gaijin is a really nice addition to Chicago and the West Loop. All right, it's onwards to the next activity. It's time for a bathroom break. Right outside Green Street Smoked Meats, not only does this place serve my bathroom needs, it's one of the best barbecue restaurants in all of Chicago. It's a great restaurant in general, one of my favorites in the West Loop. In fact, I was here last summer, had the most wonderful smoked salmon. Oh, so good. While the barbecue here is fantastic, this place, I feel like they need to step up their sides game. I mean, they have like broccoli salad, macaroni salad, coleslaw. They're fine, nothing wrong with them, but sides like that just can't compete with like mac and cheese, collard greens. Still, you come here for the barbecue, not so much the sides, although the cornbread is pretty good. Plus, I also really love coming here in the mornings because in front of the restaurant they have a Swada coffee. It's literally one of the best coffee spots in the West Loop. Now the coffee is of course good, but they do sell donuts from the donut vault, and that's a really good added bonus. I also just really love this alleyway. It's so picturesque and it's such a great reminder of the industrial past of the West Loop. Anyways, I think we're gonna walk around now, gonna go visit a park, burn some calories, and enjoy this, well, it's pretty damn cold for a spring day, but it is a day nonetheless. And at least it's not raining or snowing, which it did yesterday, which is just crazy to think that it would happen in mid-April, but whatever. I just arrived at Mary Bartelme Park. It's a nice place, but the thing with the West Loop, it just cannot compete with neighborhoods like Lincoln Park, Lakeview, or Streeterville in terms of having lakefront access. Still, the parks in the West Loop are decent, but they're far from the best. I've always really liked this sculpture over here. I mean, it literally frames the city just so beautifully. And it's just really cool looking. Anyways, it's that time of the day again. It is time for coffee. Now, I don't have any coffee shop in mind, but this is the West Loop. There is no shortage of caffeine options. I'm still on the way to the coffee shop, but an important matter must be discussed because it was recently announced that Chicago is getting its own location of the iconic New York City Levin Bakery. The bakery is of course famous for their massive, gooey, warm chocolate chip cookies. I absolutely love Levin Bakery, and the Chicago location will be opening right up here along Randolph Street. I do have mixed feelings about this because it kind of makes the establishments in New York not as special, especially when they just start multiplying in every city across the country. But to be fair, the signs are very clear that Levin was going to be expanding. I mean, you can buy the frozen cookies at any grocery store these days. At the same time, Levin will still remain an iconic New York City institution, just like how Shake Shack is an iconic New York City institution, even though it has expanded across the world. And it's a great thing for Chicago that one's opening here, especially the West Loop. I mean, can this neighborhood get any better? All right, now that I've shared my thoughts, time to get back onto the coffee mission. Just picked up coffee and a scone from Stephanie Izard's bakery called Sugargoat. Stephanie Izard is of course an Iron Chef, but she gained her fame through her iconic restaurant, which is right across the street, The Girl and the Goat. I've been to Sugargoat once before, and I had a very nice cookie the last time. Coffee, of course, is solid. Now let's see how the scone is. That was very nice. Kind of like a birthday scone. Got lots of colorful sprinkles, good frosting on top. Not too sweet, pretty fresh. Yeah, this is a good pastry. So I think I'll end my day in the West Loop here. I'll finish my coffee, consume my treat, do a little reading, and then head back home. This has indeed been a great day here in the West Loop. It feels so good to be able to travel back to a city that I love so much, that I spent a good part of my life living in. The West Loop is without a doubt a phenomenal neighborhood, and it felt so good to be able to try some new places and also experience some of my old favorites. To sum it all up, it's been a great day, great trip to Chicago, and I can't wait to return again.